Hello everyone, my name is Zohaib. Let's talk about today. All rise for the robot AI and blockchain could transform the courtroom. Do the developers of legal bots have sufficient knowledge and experience of the law? Is the data used to train their algorithms timely? Will critical evidence be filtered out? Before we start talk about AI in details, please subscribe to our channel and Facebook page of Crypto News. Earlier this year, Joshua Browder, CEO of AI startup Do Not Pay, attempted to bring a robot lawyer into a California courtroom, despite almost certainly knowing that it was illegal in almost all 50 states to bring automated assistants like this into a courtroom. Do Not Pay bills itself as the world's first robot lawyer whose goal is to level the playing field and make legal information and self-help accessible to everyone. It helps to serve society's lower-income segment to lower medical bills, appeal bank fees, and dispute credit reports. It claims to have helped more than 160,000 people successfully contest parking tickets in London and New York. It was denied entry to the California courthouse, however, because under current rules in every state except Utah, nobody except a bar-licensed lawyer is allowed to give any kind of legal help. Gillian Hadfield, professor of law and director of the Schwartz-Reisman Institute for Technology and Society at the University of Toronto. Still, in the age of ChatGPT and other stunning artificial intelligence devices, Browder's attempt could be a foretaste of the future. The Do Not Pay effort is a sign of what is to come, Andrew Perlman, Dean and Professor of Law at Suffolk University Law School, tells magazine. Certain legal services, including many routine legal matters, can and will be delivered through automated tools. In fact, it is already happening at the consumer level in numerous ways, such as via LegalZoom. Such help is urgently needed in the view of many. In the U.S., low-income Americans do not receive any or enough legal help for 92% of their civil legal problems, according to a Legal Services Corporation study, 2022. Almost half surveyed don't seek help because of high legal costs, and more than half, 53%, doubt their ability to find a lawyer they could afford if they needed one, according to the LSC survey. This access to justice gap is a serious problem, and automated tools can be an important part of the solution, comments Perlman. Can AI democratize legal services? It may only be a matter of time before AI reaches the courtroom. If so, it could help to wring human bias out of the legal system. In a legal setting, AI will usher in a new, fairer form of digital justice whereby human emotion, bias and error will become a thing of the past, says British AI expert Terence Mowry, author and founder of the Hack Future Lab. Will it advance the day when legal services are truly democratized? Absolutely, says Hadfield. This is the most exciting thing about AI now. Not only can it reduce the cost of legal services in the corporate sector, and I think that's coming, but the huge payoff will be in addressing the complete crisis we face in access to justice. But more work may still be needed before AI becomes common in the courthouse. The law does not have much tolerance for technical errors. The stakes are simply too high. I've used ChatGPT, and it often summarizes the law correctly. But sometimes, it makes mistakes, John McGinnis, a law professor at Northwestern University told USA Today. And, that's not a surprise. It'll get better. But at the moment, I think going into the courtroom was something of a bridge too far. Hadfield herself has been working in Utah and elsewhere to establish regimes for licensing providers other than lawyers to provide some legal services. Consumer access to legal services is necessary for the interests of fairness and is increasingly doable, given the rapid evolution of technology. I don't think a fully unregulated/unvetted Do Not Pay should be out there, but there should be an easy way to license it against the standard. Does this make the user better off than they are now? Most people engaging with the law today, including the people Do Not Pay is aiming to help, get zero legal assistance, so that bar may not be high, adds Hadfield. A global need. AI's promise of delivering accessible, reasonably priced legal services could soon gain traction beyond the United States, too. Indeed, AI-driven solutions may be even more welcome in the developing world. A Boston Consulting Group study on the use of AI in government, for example, found that people in less developed economies where perceived levels of corruption are higher also tended to be more supportive of the use of AI. Those surveyed in India, China, and Indonesia indicated the strongest support for government applications of AI, while those in Switzerland, Estonia, and Austria offered the weakest support. Basic services such as drafting wills or simple contracts, or challenging government decisions, should not require the services of a lawyer, Simon Chesterman, a David Marshall professor and vice provost at the National University of Singapore, tells magazine, acknowledging that the emergence of chatbot lawyers offers some short-term gains in terms of access to justice. Is there a place for blockchain technology when it comes to bringing legal services to the underserved, perhaps working in tandem with artificial intelligence? Some think so. A legal system is built on a foundation of trust. People must believe that decisions are made in accordance with principles of fairness. This is where black box AI solutions like ChatGPT can come up short. One can't easily see how decisions are being made. Public blockchains, by contrast, are famously transparent. They provide a clear, tamper-free ledger of transactions or interactions from a project's beginning. It is evident that the deployment of digital technologies, such as blockchain, is key to the development of AI, writes Antonio Merchan Murillo, a professor at Spain's Pablo Olavide University. Blockchain strengths, transparency, traceability, decentralization, and authentication can complement AI, whose opaque algorithms can often confound. Blockchain has the mission of generating trust, transparency, and acting as a mediator, explains Murillo, and it can enable AI projects to act and connect with each other as well as provide valuable information about origin and history. Smart contracts in particular could play a role in an evolving legal system. In the near future, many commercial contracts will be written as smart contracts, Joseph Raczynski, a futurist and technology consultant, tells Magazine. Both technologies will be transformative for the law, he says. A risk-averse industry. Overall, legal systems will not be disrupted immediately. Despite the fact that AI has hit an inflection point recently, it's unlikely that we will see AI assistants directly interacting in the next year, predicts Raczynski. However, in the next 2 or 3 years, I think it is highly possible select jurisdictions will test it. The reason is that lawyers and the legal industry generally tend to be extraordinarily risk-averse, Raczynski adds. The idea that AI will act as a lawyer in the courtroom imminently is doubtful. Large law firms will survive by handling highly complex issues, says Raczynski. Small and medium-sized firms may not fare so well. Across the industry, it's the cookie-cutter work that most firms do now that will implode.